Welcome to the MLB Now talk show. To my left is Brennan Beamer and I am Sam Schwartz. We're going to start off by discussing should David Ortiz retire this year. I'm going to say no because, he's been having a great year and I just want to keep going. If the MLB needs him.
I agree with you, Sam. I think David Ortiz should play at least one more year. He's having a great season so far. Seems like he's having a lot of fun, and I think he will be good next year if he plays.
But on the other hand, all the celebrations, like you don't ride off in a golf cart on your final spring training game for retirement. You can't really give that back. There are so many gifts you can give back, but everybody's going to love him for saying he'll come back next year, even though he's already decided. Everybody's going to want him back next year, but everything everyone's given him, it's not going to be worth it for next year. It's not going to be as much as a celebration.
As we go to our next topic, will the Cubs win the World Series this year? I think they have a chance. Yes, they're going through a big slump right now, but I think they'll be able to bounce back. They have a great young team, and because they made it pretty far in the playoffs last year, and they have a better team this year, so I think they will be better.
I don't think so. I know I'm a Cardinal fan, but I just think the Cubs are going to choke. I'm not saying that just because they're going through a slump. They've been doing amazing through the first half of the first half, so the first quarter of the season. But once they start losing games, that just kind of brought them back to reality. No team's going to do that amazing the whole year, so it brought them down to reality. But now they're in a legitimate slump. So they will come back eventually. They're still going to make the playoffs, but it only takes 3 or 4 games to lose, depending on the round, or even one. Although I think that the Cubs will end up winning the division by a little bit over the Pirates and Cardinals in the NL Central. But it only takes so many games to lose in the playoffs and be eliminated. And our third and final topic today that we will be discussing is who will win the American League East Division, the Blue Jays or the Orioles?
I think the Blue Jays will win the AL East. Well, because they have some great young players. They have good young pitchers like Marcus Stroman and Aaron Sanchez, and they still have their big sluggers like Josh Johnson and Jose Bautista. I think they will have a bounce back half the season.
Well, Jose Bautista has been in the major leagues for a while now. I'm not saying he's old, but he's been there as long as I can remember.
Still good though.
Yeah, he's been doing good all these years. He's been consistent. Now he's starting to go into his great phase, his prime. He was good before, but again, that's still being consistent, being at least good. I think we're also leaving the Red Sox out of the equation. They've got David Price, Craig Kimbrell, who I know is currently hurt. But there's good replacements. They're great hitters. And you got young hitters as well as Mookie Betts, Jackie Bradley Jr. And then the Orioles, you got a ton of home run hitters. Mark Trumbo, who's just traded over. There's Davis Adam Jones, who didn't get off to the best start, but is starting to come back now. I think he'll make it through, end up with a pretty good year.
And that wraps it up for MLB Now. Thank you. I'm your host, Brennan Beamer with Sam Schwartz.